Okay? We're looking for continuation. We're looking for this to come down and continue to change trend. Okay? That's why it's so important. It allows us to have a new bias in direction, especially when it happens on a daily time frame like this. So now what are we doing, right? We're looking for any sort of retracement into key levels, whether it's a point of control, whether it's a very big volume node, right? And all we want to do is let it bounce, get on the higher low. Why do we want to get on the higher low, everybody? Because we want to be able to manage our risk accordingly and look for that trade up. Okay? That's going to be critical. Mr. Chico, handsome bandito, cojones.
What's up, brother? Thank you so much for stepping up and covering me for the morning. Just had a little surprise breakfast for my new wife.
I can't
So,
deny you enjoying breakfast with your wife, bro. I get it, man.
oh, thank you. Really appreciate it. Oh man, we just bought a bunch of new appliances. So she did not wait for me. In fact, she's right here. She's just giving me that look because she came right and she said, "All right, this is what we bought. You're not gonna use it without me, right?" And but she didn't wait for me. But that was a beautiful breakfast. Thank you so much, honey. Really enjoyed it. And thank you so much, Alex, the handsome's guide and the most profitable trader in the space. Look at that smile, brother. So I see that you had a good day, wasn't it? A little choppy.
I took a long. I took profits and I'm out. I've only taken one trade after the live stream today. No trade on the live stream today.
I
It
see.
was too choppy. Here, send this to MJ. She'll get mad at me.
What should I be sending? Oh, ah, dice Alex que te manda esto. No sé qué sea. La foto. Okay, I'm showing to her. Let's see. World War III begins. Feminist. What? I don't get it.
So if the war starts,
Si la
right?
guerra
If World
empieza.
War III starts,
Si la tercera guerra empieza. Ajá.
then the women have no problem cooking and cleaning again. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They don't have to go to war.
you're right. That's funny.
Right?
Que cuando la tercera guerra empiece, las feministas van a. No hay pedo. Yo hago las cosas de la casa.
No problem.
No.
I clean, I cook. You go fight.
No, she actually told me when we get married, you'll never going to suffer out of not knowing what to eat. I'm gonna get in charge of that, and I promise her
That's what my
I'll
wife does.
protect
My
her.
wife's amazing.
Yeah, and I promise her I'll protect her every day of my life. So yeah,
Aww.
traditional. Yeah,
And
I
make
think
lots
we're
of
more
money.
like the traditional. What? And yeah, it makes a lot lots of money. Let's go. I'm in the process of
Let's
that.
go, baby.
Absolutely. Oh, all right. So I see you're looking at Dogecoin or Dogecoin.
I was looking at WIF just explaining kind of the hidden bearish divergence, how like hidden bearish divergence really aren't, I wouldn't call them really strong. You know what I mean? Like it's like, because we were talking about like the daily here on the oscillator and how we're getting, you know, on WIF even, like we're getting these hidden bear divs here, but like this is like, it's so far away that it's not, it's what I suggested. I don't know if you agree with this, but I would prefer a sweep up here, a bearish divergence in here, and then a break is structured down, right? On a shorter term time frame. Just because like this is daily. So in order to confirm the daily, I would like a, you know, like a 12-hour bear div locally. So this to come up here and get our bear div in here. And then like an hourly change in character where, okay, we sweep up to take the high in here, like this one here. So we come up, we sweep the high, we get the bear div on the 12-hour. Then like on an hourly time frame, just to change in structure, that's where I would short and then stop loss above the high. So all three are kind of working together, and then you have your confirmation of a reversal back down, and that's typically how I would treat it.
I completely
What are your
agree. I
thoughts
mean,
on the because
I,
the
I com-
hidden bear div are like, it's a big time frame too. If it was a
right.
shorter time frame, like an hourly hidden bear div, maybe a little bit more weight.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that because I mean, when I teach hidden divergences, I explain that they usually, in most cases, scenario, it is just a natural move on balance in the market. It's not something like really dramatic, right? It's just a little bit an imbalance that needs a little bit of a correction. So that's why it's a hidden divergence. And I actually follow the same description as you do, which are not that dramatic movements because the market, if you leave it's by itself, should be auto correcting, right? And not really diverging that much. And that hidden divergences are those natural self corrections in the market. So absolutely, I do see that happening. I mean, maybe I could set a swing value pattern at the top, but I rather look at what you mentioned. That head and shoulders pattern. I rather see it. I like it much better, and I see it playing out much more frequently along with double tops. So absolutely, I mean, I'm 100% in with that on what you're looking at that point. So
I agree.
yeah, so let me take a look
So
at.
are you in a
Uh-huh.
long?
I am. I am. In fact, I'm closing longs. Litecoin, Ethereum, and let me see. And that's it. And that's it. Litecoin and Ethereum.
You see all the longs I gave, all the trades I gave to the chart hackers. They're gonna be kissing my feet today.
Holy yeah. I mean, you were
Did you
on
see all of them?
fire. I saw them.
I gave them Solana. Let's look. Let's look at all the trades from yesterday. These guys. I gave them Solana. Look at this trade.
Nice.
I gave them Link. I gave them Sui, I believe. And I gave them, was it Injective? No, it wasn't Injective. That was my group. It was wait. I know which one. Let me double check. It was Near. I did Near for them. Look at Near, baby. Oh, Steve, bro, I'm on
Holy
fire,
shit.
bro.
Nice.
Spoiled.
Big time. Oh man, that was
Spoiled.
fantastic. I also gave, what I not gave yesterday in Chart Hackers. I explained it here. We had an 8 entry. I did not took it at all. Man, that's was one of those days that I did not set up my alerts, and oof, they ended up playing out, and I'm just not in the trade. Let me show you what I got in here because mostly everything kind of went the same way, right? I had a little bit of a pullback on the bullish flag or a sweep of the lows, and then went to touch dynamic reactor, and off you go, right? So this was ADA. I did not touch ADA. I did not enter an ADA, although I gave this entry right here. It was a pretty fantastic one. So if you guys, for any reason, took ADA, this is it. Take your profits at least 50% out and run. At this point, we could be having a rejection, not quite certain, but if we're having that rejection, that's why you're taking 50% out. If not, if you take that 50% out, you still have 50% in case of breakout, retest, and continuation. In fact, for the most part, that's exactly what we're expecting, right? At this point, although we are below the dynamic reactor, we're still bullish here, and we have a very nice prime score. Ethereum, who would it called? Lonked Ethereum. Oh, I was already removed it. Yeah, I already removed it because I already have closed that trade. I'm waiting for either a breakout retest. We have a very bearish area right here. It was a 0% just today in the morning, but right now it's at 7% bullish against 92. Still very, very bearish, right? So I'm looking for maybe in the best case scenario, breakout retest, and off we go. Better yet, I believe that this is going to be a breakout, re-enter the channel, falling out of that trend line, and then going back to the dynamic reactor. But so far, the most immediate trade that I'm looking at here, it is a possible flip of the ribbon, very, very close. So we have this movement to the upside. Previously, we flipped early. We flipped early. I believe that we could be flipping early once again, and that will basically have a retracement here going to support, and off we go. So this is what I'm expecting. I have not yet taken any other trade on Ethereum. I might be entering in a short after the flip of the ribbon, and also getting a head switch at the bottom in here for maybe a bounce to the upside. Litecoin has been fabulous at this point, and I would like to say that this looks like it's non-stop, but that will be lying, because I mean we are again on a resistance zone. So, but it seems like we are piercing through, right? So this is where the FOMO kicks in, right? So should I let it run? This looks like it's non-stopping, right? This is going to the moon. Look at that, how many green candles, all bullish, right? Let's keep it. And nope, this is what we're not supposed to do, right? We are supposed to take profits as we go. Why? Because nobody's gonna be claiming that money for yourself, right? So you need to claim it for yourself. You need to reach out and take it. So that's exactly what I did right here. 50% out, right here, in fact. All right, 50% out. And I'm looking to see what's going to happen. I'm still 50% in. If I retrace in here and fall back below and I have a rejection, I'm out. And then I'm going to be looking for maybe half of the way bounce and then further continuation to the dynamic reactor. Or if I break a retest and off I go, I'm still 50% in. And guess what? Next target is going to be 95.23. So very nice one on that Litecoin. Another one that I'm looking at, and let me get rid of a couple of lines in here. It is XRP. I might get into a short today. I don't have the confirmations yet, but look at that. We have a trend line in here. Depending on how you draw your trend line, you could be having another trend line right down here, and that is because we have a this low right here, right? But dynamic reactor usually shows where that trend line is supposed to go, somewhere around here, right? So at this point, breakout, maybe going to the next trend line. Let me just get rid of this. And this means it's not about the breakout, it's about your retest, maybe creating a dead cat bounce. And off we go. And adding to my theory, we are below the zero line, which means we could be having a retracement to the downside, something like this, all right? Something like that right here. So that's why I might be looking for a short in these areas. It's still not at all an entry for a short. I believe that I could be looking into what you do, Alex, which is maybe going to the 15 minutes to have early entries right there. Let me zoom out, see if I have enough, market structure. And what I do have in here is a trend line. Until I don't lose that trend line, and if I can, I'm gonna be looking for this wedge in here, right? If I break the wedge to the upside, I think I'm gonna keep going, something like that, to the top. But if I start losing the trend line in here with maybe a head and shoulder or something like that, this is what I'm gonna be trying to enter for the short. So far, XRP is looking bullish, but I'm just looking to see if I would be able to get a short. All right, so this is not at all a entry call because we don't have just yet the patterns. We don't have anything here that tells me that I should be going into a short other than one single trend line. And look at this, shoulder, head, and maybe shoulder. So if I generate the shoulder, I could be creating that trend line in here, that neckline that could be breaking back above. So it is more bullish than bearish, of course, but I'm still just putting in the back in my head. If I start losing this trend line, and let's add an alert to that trend line, all right, I will be entering for a short. So that's what I got on altcoins so far. Today we got a second session, a secondary session with the hackers. What do you think that we're going to be looking at? Mainly memes, gold. What do you think that hackers are going to be asking us about?
I'm gonna look at shit coins like every day.
Well, they move, right? I mean, they move. So maybe they're after some
We're
quick
gonna
buck.
tell people how to use a stop loss who shorted the bottom.
Well,
Am I being wrong? Am I wrong?
not really. All right.
I want to be nice, but I also want to be honest. Okay. And it's okay if they're people who are new, and that's why we're here to help them, right? And I think but you're not gonna get anywhere without being honest with yourself. Okay, first and foremost, if you're a trader and you keep losing and you keep blowing up accounts, you're doing something wrong. And until you can look at yourself and be honest, you ain't gonna figure it out. That's why 90% of people quit, right? It's and then 5% of those 90 people who don't quit keep going, wasting their money, and then they eventually quit, and then 5 survive. Okay? You want to survive? You got to be honest, you got to document, you got to take it seriously. Otherwise, you're going to you're just going to be fish food, right? Like you're going to swim in the ocean as a little minnow and you're going to get eaten alive, right? Cuz the market will do that to everybody, right? It will do it to everybody. If we're looking at what I was talking to you guys about, and I have an alert set here, but you want to see Total 3 take this $850 billion high on Total 3. If we're talking altcoins, this is our target, right? This, like if we're looking market structure wise, that's our daily market structure flip. Okay, we're not there yet. We're still lower high, lower high, lower high. This is still a lower high. This is a great flip. Like we do have, basically our equilibrium here, predictive ranges. Great flip, right? Beautiful 3 drives, right? But we're not out of the woods just yet. This could be a bull trap. Okay. If we look at our others dominance chart, okay? So everything excluding our top 10, right? We have yet to close in this range, okay? So yes, virtuals is up 20%, runes up 10%. It's a bull trap in my opinion right now. Beams up 20%, right? Like virtual 10%. But right now, overall, there's some runners. Yeah, Sui doing good, but we just have a series of rejections right now. Yes, if we turn on our market structure here, we no candle close here. So we'd have to go into like a 12-hour, I think. Yeah, 12-hour candle close. So you can see the candle closing here, changing structure. So now we are looking for this on the 12-hour. Okay. Nothing until then, right? We are absolutely rug showed. Okay, we like to catch bottoms, but we want to go off confirmation. That's how I try to keep everybody level headed. As a trader, we shouldn't give two shits about if our altcoin bags pump or dump. We should be preparing for the next highest probable trade every single time. So what is our next highest probable trade? Let's just get rid of all this stuff and let's just look at the chart and ask ourselves, are we overextended? Yes. Where is liquidity? Okay. Liquidity is here. And liquidity is here. We are stuck in the middle with you. Okay. Where's our money flow point of control? We are flipping it right now. Okay. Let's go on a weekly. Looking at our predictive ranges. So our weekly suggests our predictive ranges median is all the way up here at the top. Pretty cool, right? Our weekly is bullish. We go to our daily. Well, we just flipped bullish again on our daily. What does that give us? That gives us the opportunity to look for any sort of pullback, which I would suggest to retest our previous highs for possible continuation up now. Okay. Right, we go swing low to swing high here, right? And as we get higher, this will continue to retrace all the way back up, okay? Now, this is pretty aggressive, so if we're doing fibs from the bottom, we're typically looking for a 382 bounce. Okay, if we're being aggressive, an aggressive Fibonacci channel, if we're looking at this, right? If we're moving aggressively, that means this is going to be bouncing at a 382, right? That means that we're going to be bouncing very aggressively, okay? It doesn't have to fully retrace. This is a very parabolic move. And this happens in big runs. So if we're looking in here, right, and we go for a 382 bounce, I'm pretty sure this is one here. We go swing low here to swing high here, right? And there's your 382 bounce. There's your example, okay? So it doesn't let you get in, but it does retrace. Okay. Same with if you're looking, if we get rid of this, if we're looking in here, we go from the low here to the high here. It doesn't come back for your full retracement, your 618, right? It's aggressive because it doesn't, if you're getting long here, you're lucky, right? Because look how fast this shoots, right? They don't want to let everybody jump in all of a sudden. Boom, it's gone, right? They want to grab as much liquidity as they can to send price back up. And then they send it where no one catches the train, right? So be aware if they're going to send it, they'll just send it, right? And nobody will catch it, which is something that we're kind of in the midst of right now, right? So if we're looking here, we can easily, this would be everybody would either be getting super duper long here and get wrecked because it would be a bull trap, right? Because if we look at anything like the S&P and we zoom out on the S&P, right? This would be a perfect bull trap. Perfect. Like we've pushed up 15%. Yeah. And we're just getting everybody right where they want them, only to put them into a full-on recession coming back down, you know? And that's very possible, right? The economic data suggests that we could be going into recession. So don't just jump on this euphoric kind of feeling, right? I think Reggie was saying, yeah, feels like a bull trap, yeah. Shinkawa, I trade with EMA setup. How dynamic / quantum reactors relate. Okay. I trade mostly on the 4-hour, then 1 hour and 15 for shorter term time frames. Okay, great. So, do you trade a 955.21, 921.55? Is that what you're trading? EMAs? $13.21.32. Okay, a little bit different than mine. Let's take a look. Let's start with the 1 hour. So like you're waiting for crossovers and then you're buying between the 21 and the 55. This is how I treat it. I typically will buy in here. Okay. It's for trending price action. We'll go in 15. I'm a bit more comfortable in the 15, so we'll go 15. So 21 EMAs. Okay. So you got your EMAs. EMAs, I only bust out an EMA if I'm like can't catch the price action. So if it's running away like this, it's the only time I ever bust out an EMA. But if we're looking at our dynamic reactor and how we're going to use it to actually be better, in my opinion, I need the newer one. So let's just add an oracle here. Okay. Let's go plus. Let's add this here. So what I would do and what I have is a dynamic reactor. I like this on the 8-minute chart. This is my baby, 8-minute dynamic reactor, then quantum reactor, and I would change it to fast, okay? That's how I would set it up. You can adjust this. This is nice. This is a nice feature to have, right? Depending on your reaction of price. But this is how I set it up personally. Okay. So dynamic reactor, quantum reactor, fast, right? And you're generally using it similarly. Okay. So for me, I trade the 8-minute dynamic reactor is something that I trade all the time, especially when you're ripping to the upside. So we're going to flash this on and off right here just to have a better understanding of what's going on. Okay, so we'll get rid of the EMA. And you can see you're going to be looking for it to obviously be, if you're looking for longs, you want it to be green. But if you're trending, you want to wait for it to reclaim. So you want it to dip down and reclaim, you're looking for longs, okay? If you're above it, you're clearly looking for longs, and you might need to change time frames, but it's very similar to the EMA. So I would have both on, and I would wait for it to get above both, okay? And that's how I would treat it. Now, when you experience a crossover like this, you need to wait for it to reclaim. If you don't wait for it to reclaim, you're looking for a rejection like this here, okay? And sometimes you are wrong, okay? So it's not going to be perfect, right? But if you understand trend, you should understand that this is a down trend and you should only be looking for shorts, right? If you're coming down here, you should be looking for shorts. Okay, if you're coming up here, you should be looking for longs. And you want to treat it as support and resistance. So you flip it, you reclaim it, you long right here, you go, right? You flip it, you reclaim it, you long right here, you go, okay? So that's how I typically trade it. I like to see it lose it, reclaim it with trend direction, okay? So you'd be in something like that, right? You'd lose it, you'd reclaim it with trend direction, you get long here, right? Makes sense? You could get long here, you could get long here, okay? And obviously it's running away right now. And it's going to Valhalla. But that's how I would use it. And you can have a play, right? What I would suggest is having a play depending on your time frames. But I would have both on my charts. Like if you're on an hourly, you're probably going to want to set your dynamic reactor to maybe a 15-minute, right? You're going to have a play where you get the right amount of confluence with it, right? Okay. And that'll help you a lot. But very good tools as well in confluence with like an EMA, right? With the EMAs, you can see that it hugs it a little bit tighter with that 9 in there. And that 9 will just give you very aggressive trend, right? So maybe, in my opinion, you might want to just lose the 9 and just keep like a 21 and a 55. If you lose the 55, or the 30, I think you said you're using the 32. So if you lose the 32, then you flip bearish/bullish. And that's how I would use it. But obviously back testing and finding out what works best for you is going to be best. But have a play with that, and that's how I would do it, man.
Absolutely. You mentioned something earlier that as traders, and I think I mentioned something I like yesterday. That's why I want to bring it up, because I think you mentioned it another way that makes sense, which is as traders, we need to look for the next most probable trade, right? Not in many cases, we're just going to be opening the charts and, hey, buy it right now, right? Just because because you're a trader, because you have indicators, right? That's not usually how it works, right? I mean, it's just like trying to cross a busy street, not because you have, the tools to cross the street, which is your sight, right? So you can see the cars coming to you. That not because of that. It means that you just can careless walk through the busy street. You're gonna get run over, right? So you're gonna get stopped out. So one of those things, it is a hype. Yesterday, I did an analysis on hype. I think that was the only one that I was able to do live because of my internet. And today we have an 11% run up to the upside. Let's go check it out. I'm going to be pulling out from the hackers the image. So I'm going to be clicking it, right clicking it, and opening the link. There we go. This is it. And I want you guys to notice how there are three possibilities, right? From where we were, breakout retest, off we go, right? From where we were, bouncing back down to the support, and then we long, and if we get stopped out on the bounce up, that's when we short. All right, so at this point, this is what my mind is seeing. All right, so what are the directions? What can I go? Where is it going to be going to, right? And right here, right down here on the oscillator, I was aiming at the most possible run, moving to the upside, flip of the ribbon, and then retracement in losing that zero line, right? Let's take a look at what happens instead. This is hype. This is the call I gave. And as you can see, since yesterday that we were right here, we pushed through, right? So let me just click here. I mean, I did not set up any, this was on, what is it? 1928, right? Right on the picture, it was exactly the same right there. So if we go to hype, oh, the other hype, let me click it and let me just push it to my left, all right? Then come on, thing, move. All right, it's moving now. Some patience. I know this is painfully slow, and there it is. So look at that. I mean, just so you know, I did not take this entry because I don't know what the hell I was doing. There is no alert. That's why I did not take it. And if I would have taken this entry, my entry would have been right here. Not at the very bottom. Yes, I have flip of the ribbon, but I'm below the zero line. Remember what I was looking at in the image, right? Flip of the ribbon at the zero line. So if I'm losing the zero line, right here, I'm not taking the trade. I'm taking it as I have either flip of the ribbon or bursting through into the green cloud or passing over across the what? The zero line. What happened here? At the zero line, this would have been my entry, and off we go to the target that we were speculating. What was that target there? Because we had, come on, where is it? There we go, a predictive range. Now, remember what I told you. Going up, retracement or U pattern, and then going back and losing the zero line. At this point, are we going to be losing the zero line? Most likely we are. And then when we lose the zero line, we could be going to, once again, dynamic reactor, the soft order block, and also this blue line. So our next possible entry is going to be somewhere around here. So again, I'm looking for the possibilities, right? It's not that I open the thing. Like, it's not like I go rune. Oh yeah, you know, I'm a trader. I have indicators shorted right now, right there. No. I mean, I need to analyze this, right? It's like, all right, am I overextended? Yes. Do I have a retracement candle? Yes. What do I have in here? I have a goose head. This goose head usually means little retracement, farther move to the upside before a movement to the downside. So I need to see how far would this retracement will be, and be aware that I'm still bullish at a 0 consolidation score. All right, so this could very much be a push to create either a lower high, a double top, or whatever other pattern is. So am I going to be longing this? Not just yet, until I see that flip of the ribbon at some support. Where are my supports? I can start turning them on. I have right here a trend line. I have a support zone in here, and this trend line is pretty cricket. Let's go for that. What else do I have in here? I don't know. I have, there we go, golden line right here. What else do I have? And I think that will be it for now. So where is my confluence? My confluence, it is right here. I'm going to be waiting for the price action to get here, and then I'm going to be looking at my ribbon. And basically, that is I'm front running the indicators, I'm front running the market structure to give me the better chance to catch the next entry, right? So, I mean, I mentioned, should I be shorting it right there, right? And if we would have been on a slight profits. But this is not what it's about. I'm not here gambling, right? Do I like risk? Yes, that's why we are in crypto. But so far, unless I see those signals, I would not be putting my money at that risk because it's not about just gambling it, right? It's trying to open up a risk window to be able to get a profit out of that risk window, right? So you need to control that risk. How do you control it? With your position, where your area of entry on your charts, and your confirmation, and finally with the amount of money and leverage that you put in there. So other than that, I just wanted to bring that up. That was a very cool trade. I mean, it's one of those ones that I was not able to take. Too bad. But the call was right there. And where do I get? Oh yeah, sorry. I'm confused with window. There we go. And that's what I got so far. I think the lesson that I want to bring up in here, it is be patient, right? Look for the possibilities out there. Wait for the market to determine its movement, and then you already know what's the next movement is going to be, right? So remember, I'm not trading the breakout. I'm trading the retest. So I see a breakout, perfect. I know what's coming. I know what I'm supposed to be looking for, right? Flip of the ribbon, add support, tiny candles if I'm using RSI primed, right? So on and so forth. I have a confirmation, I enter, and off we go, happy days. So I just wanted to add to that, Alex. Anything else that you may have for today?
For now, I think we might come down soon. I'm trying not to be bearish, but
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it? Sen is typing. What's up? Let me see. Shinkar. I will be present more here. I think absolutely. I really like what I'm hearing today. Perfect, man. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time and alpha anytime, Sensen. That's what we're here for. We already are. We already are on our path, right? On the trading space. Right now, I think we both can say that we are profitable traders. And what I think that the value in here is both how we look the market to enter the trades. There are different styles, just so you also know, right? But most importantly, the mistakes that we made, because by you learning out of those mistakes, you can go ahead and not make them, right? It's not that you need to break your leg to understand that you should not be jumping out of the roof with a fake cape, right? I mean, it's not that they're real leg capes, but I think you get the point, right? So,
that's
guys,
it.
yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. Alex, you want to say the goodbyes and wrap it up to do the
Yeah,
honors?
everybody trade safe. Overextended, I'd be looking for a little bit of a pullback right now. Just be patient at there. Uh, yeah, nothing to jump at right now. Just wait. I would look for you're looking for retest of previous highs and continuations, and then you're looking to flip short if you get confirmation of a structure break. Okay, so if you start taking some lows, you look for a retest back up, and then you look to get short. But for now, up only. Be patient. I'm still looking for that retest at 95.5. So make sure you guys are using good risk management. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.